You used to buy things once. Now you pay for them forever. And at first, it didn't feel like a big change. A few dollars here, a monthly plan there. It felt cheaper, more flexible, more modern. But over time, something shifted. Because this isn't just about pricing, it's about how systems are designed. Companies used to sell finished products. Now they build ongoing access, and that changes the entire relationship. Because when you sell a product, the transaction ends. But when you sell a subscription, the relationship continues indefinitely. That's where the incentives start to change. Because one-time sales are unpredictable. You sell something, then you have to go find the next customer. But subscriptions create stability, predictable revenue, forecastable growth, higher valuations, and that predictability becomes the priority. Not just selling something once, but keeping you inside the system for as long as possible. This is where lifetime value comes in, LTV. It's not about what you pay today, it's about what you pay over time, months, years, sometimes longer. And once companies start optimizing for that number, everything else begins to shift. Products stop being complete, they become expandable. Features that used to be included are now separated, tiered, locked behind upgrades. Not necessarily because they cost more to provide, but because they extend duration. Because every extra month you stay increases your value to the system. And the system doesn't need to force you, it just needs to make staying easier than leaving. That's where behavioral design comes in. Your data, your preferences, your playlists, your files, your history. The longer you use something, the more embedded it becomes in your life. And that creates friction. Not technical friction, but psychological friction. Because leaving no longer means stopping payment, it means losing continuity, starting over, rebuilding everything from scratch. And most people won't do that, so they stay. Not because they actively decided to keep paying, but because the system made the alternative feel heavier. This is how subscriptions scale. Not through pressure, but through inertia. Small decisions that repeat, month after month. And individually, they don't feel significant. $5, $10, $15. But across multiple platforms, they stack, quietly. Until the total becomes something you don't question anymore. Just something you accept. And that's where the system becomes powerful, because it blends into normal life. You don't evaluate each subscription every month. You assume it still makes sense, and that assumption is what sustains the model. Because the goal isn't to deliver a one-time burst of value, it's to maintain enough ongoing value to justify continued presence. Even if that value slowly declines, even if you use it less over time, as long as you don't cancel, the system continues. And this is why everything feels different now. Because you're no longer buying outcomes, you're buying access. Access that continues, access that renews, access that requires ongoing decisions to stop. And most of those decisions never happen. Because the system isn't built around moments, it's built around time. Time extended, time retained, time converted into revenue. So what feels like convenience is often continuity by design. What feels like flexibility is often commitment over time. And what feels like small payments is often a long-term system you entered without realizing it. Because in a subscription economy, you're not just a customer, you're a timeline. And the longer that timeline runs, the more valuable it becomes. If this made you think, subscribe. The next one goes deeper. Like it so the YouTube algorithm will let more people see it. Comment what stood out, and share this with someone who needs to see it. Because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.